Your phone lights up. It's the person you've been talking to for weeks. You smile, you reply. Then, nothing. Hours become days. Days become weeks. You read the conversation again. Maybe you said something wrong. Maybe they got busy. Maybe they're going through something. Eventually, the silence becomes louder than any message they could have sent. And that's the hardest part. Not knowing. Ghosting hurts because our brains are wired to search for explanations. When none arrive, we create our own. Usually, they're much harsher than reality. Meet Sarah. Sarah has been interviewing for a job she really wants. The interviews go well. The hiring manager smiles. We'll be in touch soon. Sarah leaves feeling optimistic. She checks her inbox every morning. Nothing. She refreshes again. Nothing. Days pass. Still nothing. Soon, the silence begins telling its own story. They must have hated me. I embarrassed myself. I wasn't good enough. But here's the strange part. None of those thoughts came from the hiring manager. They came from Sarah's own mind. Imagine walking down a hallway lined with doors. One door suddenly closes in front of you. Naturally, you want to know what's behind it. Ghosting works the same way. Our brain hates unfinished stories. It wants closure, answers, reasons. When the door stays closed, our imagination starts filling the room behind it. Usually with our biggest fears. Thousands of years ago, being ignored by your group could threaten your survival. Humans evolved to notice rejection quickly. Silence wasn't just uncomfortable, it could be dangerous. That ancient system still exists today. Your brain often treats unanswered messages as social rejection, even when the reality is much more complicated. Here's something most people never consider. Ghosting isn't always about the person being ignored. Sometimes, it's about the person doing the ignoring. Imagine needing to tell someone bad news, or admit you've changed your mind, or disappoint someone who likes you. Those conversations are uncomfortable. Avoiding them brings immediate relief, at least for a little while. Ghosting often isn't chosen because it's kind. It's chosen because it feels easier. Imagine borrowing money. Ignoring the lender doesn't erase the debt. It simply delays paying it. Emotions work the same way. Every difficult conversation we avoid quietly grows heavier. The discomfort disappears today, only to return tomorrow, usually even bigger. Avoidance creates emotional debt. When people don't explain themselves, our imagination becomes the narrator. Maybe they hate me, maybe I wasn't interesting, maybe I ruined everything. But here's the problem. The brain prefers certainty over uncertainty, even if that certainty is completely wrong. An invented explanation often feels more comfortable than admitting, I simply don't know. People often think ghosting communicates you weren't important. Sometimes it communicates something completely different. I didn't know how to have this conversation. I didn't want conflict. I didn't know what to say. That doesn't excuse ghosting, but it changes how we understand it. Sometimes silence says more about the speaker than the listener. Imagine reading a mystery novel only to discover the final chapter has been ripped out. You'd probably spend days wondering how it ended. That's exactly what ghosting feels like. Our brains crave completed stories. Without an ending, we keep replaying the beginning again and again. Here's the difficult truth. Closure isn't always something another person gives you. Sometimes, it's something you choose to create yourself. You may never receive the explanation you wanted, but waiting forever keeps someone else in control of your peace. Accepting uncertainty isn't weakness, it's freedom. The next time someone disappears from your life, remember this: silence always feels personal, but it isn't always about you. Sometimes it's about someone who didn't know how to face discomfort, someone who closed the door because they weren't ready to walk through it themselves. And while you'll never control whether someone stays, you can choose not to let unanswered questions write your story for you. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to How to Stick. Every week we uncover the hidden psychology behind the people around you, the choices they make, and the invisible forces that shape human behavior. One simple story at a time.